I'm Van Barksdale with H&R Agri-Power in Tanner, Alabama. And today we're going to be talking about this 8250 Series Combine Feeder House and Faceplate.
I'm Darren Hunt with Hopkinsville, Kentucky Regional Sales. It's an honor for us to be able to talk to you guys today about our new product improvements as well as our 8250 Series Combine Feeder House from a sales perspective.
With that being said, James, Darren, let's get into the features of this feeder house and faceplate.
Sounds good, Van. So one of the first things we want to talk about when it comes to the Case IH machine is obviously the CVT Drive Line you see coming from the engine all the way back there, reaching all the way down here to our feeder house. Now what that allows us to do, that allows us to lose 0 horsepower between the two points. That lets us deliver the maximum horsepower we can to our feeder house as well to our header. So we don't have any belt slippage, we don't have to change any belts that we used to have to on the previous machines. Some of our competitors have belts and switches and all kinds of stuff up here that we really don't have to fool with anymore. Another thing this allows us to do, it allows us to have a hydraulic reverser. So running through the field in tough crop conditions or in some really green, nasty, gnarly stuff, allows you to stop the machine, reverse it from the cab, majority of the time without having to get out of the seat, depending on how good of an operator you are, and go right back to work with minimizing your downtime as much as you can. Van?
Another improvement on the 250 series is the feeder top sprocket. We've gone to a spline crown assembly, which gives it longer life, greater durability, and better life expectancy. Also, we have down here on the bottom, as heads get more and more complex each year, they get heavier. And Case IH does a very good job of giving you customized package. You can select from a 10,000 pound weight, 11,500, 13,500. I would suggest that you get with your salesman when you're configuring your machine and make sure that you know the specifications and requirements of the head that will be used. Also, as a side note, the 13,500 is just a few dollars more, so it might be worth it on resale value just to go ahead and get the maximum amount up front. James, Darren?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Good point, Van. So before we move away from this area of the combine, Van did mention that feeder top sprocket shaft that we changed for the new model year 20 and 21 250 series machines. Definitely a huge upside on the service side. Get longer life expectancy out of those gears and out of those shafts, right? So as well, we have decals up here that let you know the service intervals, so it's easier for us to perform preventative maintenance. Moving up here towards the front of the machine, not quite at the front of the machine, industry leader here that we have that Case IH has come out with. I'll tell you a little bit about it and I'll let Van get into the detail. What it is a hydraulic fore and aft faceplate. All of the 250 series machines come standard with lateral tilt side to side on our feeder house, but Case IH, being the innovative company that they are, has introduced this fore and aft faceplate on the feeder house. Van?
One of the things that Case IH strives to do each year as they improve their machines is to create operator comfort and technology. This is adjustable from in the cab. The operator can adjust this 12 degrees, which enables to pick down corn a lot better. It also can change the geometry of the crop flow into the combine. James, Darren?
Exactly right. So, and before we leave here, you're probably looking at this, listening to Van and I talk and wondering, well, I've had that ability, to be able to tilt my cutter bar out, with my MacDon and Draper headers, Case IH Draper headers before. So why is this such a big deal now? Well, exactly what Van said, in that we can now tilt that faceplate forward to change the geometry of that feeder plate to improve crop flow. We can also, and it also allows us to get down there and get down corn. So what we're after is efficiency, right, number one, so that allows us to get more of our crop out of the field and into our grain tank.
Let's move around to the front, and James Darren's going to talk a little bit about the feeder house itself and the length and the diameter versus the competition. We're now at the front of the feeder house, and James Darren's going to talk to you about the length and the width of the Case IH feeder house versus our competition.
Thanks, Van. So when we're talking about the width and the length of our feeder house, we really want to put in perspective where we're at versus where our competition is. Our feeder house is 54 by 98 inches long. Our competition's is 55 by 68 inches long. Now, those numbers can be a little bit misconstrued when you think about what the actual width of the input area is on the two feeders. We actually beat Deere's feeder by close to 12 inches. And honestly, when you're running headers as big as we're running today with the yields that our farmers are able to attain today, that's really a big difference. Case IH takes pride in trying to match the input of the machine to the farmer's expectations so that we can attain ultimate efficiency as well as keep our downtime to a minimum. I'm going to turn it over to Van, and Van's going to talk about our new improved feeder chain.
Some of the things that we do to go along with what James Darren said that helps the capacity of the machine is the feeder house floor has actually been dropped, and that gets more crop through on a more even kill. Also on the 250 series, the feeder house chain itself went from an A550 to an A960H link. Our slats are now cast iron versus steel, which is much more durable, much more reliable. Also, we have a heavy-duty front drum, and you can't see it, but over here on the side, we have an easy one-point spring-loaded adjustment, which is much, much easier than the old 40 series combines.
That's exactly right. Anybody that's worked on a Case IH older series combine before has seen how difficult those blocks can be to adjust on the fly, especially if you're trying to adjust in the field or on the go. So that's definitely a very good quality that Case IH has come out with. One thing I would like to point out about this feeder chain here, just to add to what Van said, the sidewall in this chain is actually 20% thicker than what we took out of here on the 240 series combine. So what's that mean for us? Van, right, more reliability, hopefully longer longevity of the machine. With the increase in width of our feeding area compared to our competitions, we've gone in here and added 3 strands of slats opposed to the traditional 2 that our competition has.
That pretty well covers the feeder house and the faceplate of the new 250 series combine. Darren, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Nope, just thank you for your time for watching. Definitely want to encourage anybody that has any questions about the feeder house, any part of the machine or the videos that you watch today, definitely reach out to your local salesman. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you.